What drives you, exile? Is it justice? Revenge? Honor? No. It is power. We felt your deeds. Felt their shockwaves ripple through the void. You have our attention. Now you must keep it.
That was a very long time since the last time I enjoyed pure Spectre build with Syndicate Operative. If you are getting bored with Summon Raging Spirit, Animated Weapon, Blink Arrow, or Mirror Arrow, this is the build you need right now. Because you will raise one of your high-end boss as your minion, Alhesmin, the Hunter. As I was testing a bunch of Spectre's corpse in the Wildwood, I can tell Spectre is more than viable than ever. You can choose whatever you like to build around. Before jump into our pure Spectre guide, I will list top 3 Spectres in my opinions and their advantages and disadvantages. First, Perfect Hydra. High DPS, high clear speed, auto-cast hatred. But they are very low life pool and squishy. The only good way to build around is full cold conversion. If you go high-end mapping or bossing, they can die frequently. People are using it to get carry in team with Aurabot. Second, Perfect Serpent Warrior. The mortal projectile give 100% poison duration, high DPS, good clear speed, projectile overlapped, free 60% chance to poison, and free wither on hit, good life pool. The way to build around it is full poison. And the only cons of Serpent Warrior is you must use Meatshield support to enable mortal projectile. Otherwise, they will attack with swords. Third, Perfect Druid Alchemist. High DPS, average clear speed, projectile overlapped, 200% FED of Flask. The best way to build around it is using Umbilicus Immortalis. But you will lose your Mage Blood Belt for endgame and lose huge defensive layers from Flask. For anyone didn't know, our Perfect Serpent Warrior get the shape of the Conqueror of the Atlas of Worlds, Alhesmin, the Hunter, so I will call him Hunter. Pros of the build. First of all, it's permanent minion. And yes, 100% poison duration. There is nothing in the game has this mod. Other things are all about quality of life, not like other minion poison build. You must get many source of poison chance and wither on hit. But I'm not gonna lie, this Hunter guy provides you free, which are 60% chance to poison and wither on hit. His projectile overlapped decently, so you will get as much as additional projectile as you can. And you don't need to swap gem in bossing. Gearing is much easier since you don't care about chance to poison on Ghastly Jewel. You can use Mage Blood instead of Darkness Enthroned. Hunter can fire projectile quite far, maybe 2 screen. Some disadvantage of the build. You must use Meatshield support to enable his range attack, which is very interesting. First time I saw this in Path of Exile. Sometime you should use Predator to force them to kill some tanky mob, since Meatshield make them chill around you only. Are you asking what this build can do? I will say yes. It's likely viable for everything hard in the game. All Uber bosses deathless. Blight Ravaged map. Viable. Many map mods viable. Tanky 8 mod farming comfortable. A good choice to run Inscribed Ultimatum. Many people may ask how this build outperform other minions build. There are many reasons, most of them are. Hunter hit real fast. Easily access 100% chain to poison. 15 wither stack in 1 second. 9 projectile overlapped. Culling strike. 2 curse. Despair and temporal chains. Many auras. Envy, malevolence, haste. Tons of flat chaos. Damage from Envy and the Covenants, and explode from Profane Bloom and Asenath's Gentle Touch. We invest to many layers of defense since I hate dying. 100% avoid ailment from Storm Shroud. Attack block / spell block without glancing blows. At least 50k armor. 100% reduced effect of curse. Action speed cannot be modified to below base value. Nearby enemies cannot deal critical strikes. Energy shield recover from Aegis Aurora. 100% chance to suppress spell damage. 10 less damage taken from 10 stack of fortifications. We also have 75% chaos resistance since we don't want to fail in Wild Wood, since Wild Wood have many monster with chaos damage. For weapon, United in Dream is the only one we care about, to get Envy Aura and some chance to poison bonus. For shield, Aegis Aurora with corrupted mod since it's very cheap. Otherwise, you can use some rare minion shields for best DPS. But I like defenses for Amulet, replica Dragonfang's flight for level of Spectres and reservation efficiency. For rings, just buy a Fractured Bone rings, then spam Bound Fossil. For helmet, you want +2 minions, and then mana reservation, and then spell suppress if you want. For gloves, use basic gloves with chance to suppress spell damage. For boots, spam Deafening Essence of Torment, combine with Searing Exarch mod to get 100% chance to avoid shock and chance to suppress spell damage. For Elegant Hubris, combine with Impossible Escape to find anything in order. 80% minion damage, 80% armor, 8% chance to block spell or attack damage. Combo 4 rare Ghastly Jewel. Plus Aminamu's Gaze is very decent for Uber bosses. Otherwise, when mapping, I swap it for Forbidden Flame and Forbidden Flesh for Explosion from Profane Bloom. We also use Storm Shroud to get 100% Avoid Ailment. For charms, you must have one mod. While there are at least 5 nearby allies, you and nearby allies have Onslaught, and then buy enough mod percent chance to suppress spell damage to get 100%. This league is insane when Mage Blood is more than half price last league. I recommend try to use it. I'm using these: Amethyst Flask, Quartz Flask, Granite Flask, Quicksilver Flask. For chest, the Covenant is best in slot to provide 7-link Spectre. The +2 minion gems is the best corruption mod. The build work perfectly fine without Mage Blood. You can use other belt and get the exact DPS like the Mage Blood. You just lose some quality of life like phasing, movement speed. Between 3 Spectre I mentioned before, I think the Hunter is the best Spectre now. Even better than Raging Spirit, because Spectre is basically permanent. The greatest of Hunter, in my opinion, is his provision of plenty qualities of life, so you have many room to invest to defense.